Hey, what's up, internet? So in the last episode, we saw me creating this hodgepodge of three web pages: about, contact, and home. And all there was lots of like code duplication, and hopefully in today's episode, Jeffrey Way is going to teach us a better way to do this, or maybe it's something else. Let's find out together. This one's about PHP partials.
Okay, welcome back. Let's get started cleaning things up. So as you know, when you're building a simple static website, you sort of have no choice but to accept the duplication, right? I mean, maybe there's some kind of fancy JavaScript templating option you could reach for. But yeah, if we're only talking about HTML and CSS, duplication is just part of the deal. But now we're using a dynamic language, which means we don't have to go along with that anymore. We can remove it entirely. And I'll show you how in this episode.
Let's go.
But before we get to that, let's first organize our files just a bit. Already it's getting a little confusing. And now imagine that we had 20 or 30 additional files all dumped within the same directory. Yeah, we don't want that. So instead, I'm going to create a new directory. And this will be exclusively for our views.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's grab each of these, and I will command click them and drag them into the views directory. Okay, now, of course, I need to update these files to point to the views directory and then the file. And I will update all of these. One more. And yeah, already that's just a little bit cleaner than what we had before. Okay, so now let's go into our views directory. And yeah, you'll remember in the last episode, we begrudgingly duplicated all of this HTML for every single view.
I remember. Those were the dark ages.
Yeah, clearly, we don't want that. We need to fix that.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. Let's add a new directory within the views folder called partials. And yeah, you can think of a partial as a partial piece of HTML. Okay. How can we divide this up? Well,
So I think the whole navigation bit is going to be inside a partial, but the whole content where it says welcome to my home page or welcome to the about page, that is going to be a separate page because everything else seems like it's common.
Maybe we could start with the navigation area. So notice if I select all of that, yeah, it is a massive piece of HTML. It just keeps going and going. Let's cut that, and I'm going to create a new file in the partials directory called nav.php, and I'll paste that in. All right, and now if we switch back and visit that about page, well, the navigation area is gone. And that would make sense. All we've done so far is created a file, but we haven't yet used it.
How about, I think it's going to be implements /views/parcels, implements/views/partials/nav.php. That's such a tongue twister.
So I can do that now, and you've already learned about requires and includes. It's the same
Not implements, includes, excuse me.
thing. PHP require partials/nav.php.
Okay.
Okay, cross your fingers, come back and refresh, and it's back.
Incredible.
Okay, so now we were...
Pause, let me follow along. Let me do that up until now. So first up, create a new folder called views, and inside views create another folder called partials. Okay, cool. And take the about, contact, and index views, put them in the views folder. Of course, here in the about PHP, do views/about.view, ditto for contact, and likewise for this index. Let's see if that still works. Yeah. Okay. Oakley dokley, we're in the good. Now inside partials, I need to create a nav.view.php, and I would like to take the nav from, let's say, the about. Actually, let's do it from the index page. This whole class. So from here until all of this is still a nav, still a nav, still a nav. You remember that mobile nav that I refused to change? Yeah. Hey. Nav, 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 nav. Up until here. Control X. Inside the partials. Did he open a PHP tag? I don't think he did. Let's. He should have though. I'm gonna. PHP. Yeah, that's how you open PHP tag, right? Why is it giving me an error? It's giving me like 9 errors. Okay, let's see. Maybe without it. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, so I got rid of the error at least. Error-based development. Now I wanna require it in, let's say, the index. Okay, so right now it should not. If I go here, yeah, there's no navigation. I'd say require views slash partial slash, you know what, views should not be necessary because I'm in the views directory. Partial slash nav dot view dot php. I don't like how there's no formatting, so there's gonna be an error here. Okay. Oh, I need to be in PHP mode. How silly. Excuse me. PHP. Let's go. Okay, cool. Let me do exactly this for the other 2 pages as well. So index is done. You know what? It's not gonna be the same for the other 2 pages because these 2 have different CSS properties over here. So let me hold off on that and see what he does next.
We're able to take all the duplication for the navigation area and extract it, and that's a programming keyword, to extract code into its own file. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing for every file.
Okay.
Select all of it and replace it once again with a require to partials slash nav.php.
But your active tab CSS is going to be different for each page. So let's see how you tackle
And I'm going to copy that so that I don't have to write it again. Now to the contact page and the exact same thing. Select it all and replace it. Cool. So now this should work for every single file. But notice that now, if I need to, for example, add an additional navigation link like this, testing, well, notice I only have to do it in a single place.
Yeah.
Whereas in the last episode, I would have had to update the navigation HTML for every single file.
True.
Of course, that's the benefit to this approach. Okay, cool. So now, yeah, let's go back. What else can we do here?
Okay, let me do that. I think he's on to me. He's on to me. He's on to all of us. He knows the thing that we're wondering. What about the active page CSS? Huh, Jeffrey? What about it? Okay, I'm sure he's going to get to it next, but in the meantime, I'm do this for all our pages. Oh, I can just, oh, sorry. I forgot I can do that in VS Code. Yeah, okay.
Well, what about starting at the doc type and grabbing everything leading up to the navigation area?
Yeah,
that's sort of like the header or the head section.
Great idea.
All right, let's do that. So add a new one, head.php, and I will paste that in. And now I can update this. So at the top, require partials/head, and then we will fix the indentation shortly. Let's also do one for the footer, or the foot, if you want. Footer.php, paste that in. All right, switch back, and then we can substitute that. Yes, notice how requires are literally, you can almost think of it as paste. Paste the contents of this file directly here. And that's an easy way to think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now let's unindent this. And yeah, if we switch back to index.php.
That's so much cleaner. Okay, let me do that too. So in partials, I need a head.view.php and a foot.view.php. Okay, dokey. I'm gonna go here, copy everything right up until here, and gonna put it into head. For footer, I'm gonna go do the same thing with index. Yeah. Is that correct? Should I do it up until main? This div, I don't know what this div is doing outside of main. So you know what, I'm going to keep it simple and just do this for footer. Okay, so here we have index. You know, let's not have this in two different lines. Let's keep things super simple. Require this, require head, not head, but head. Require foot. Ditto for these two. What happened? It didn't work. Yeah, now it did. Instead of nav, I'm gonna go for head. But copy head. It'll probably fix itself, the indentation. And here I just want to put foot. Interestingly, he said head and footer, not header footer. So I'm going to follow that. Jeffrey is probably smarter than me when it comes to these things. Let's not say smarter, but at least way more experienced than me. Wait, what I do? Contact, yeah, this is where I want. Head's fine. This is fine. This is fine. I'm gonna change this to photo. Okay, so we have, let me close every other. I need index view, about view, contact view. That's it. Index view looks fine. About's okay. Okay. Cool, let's go.
Everything seems to be working. Great. But now notice for this file, we've removed so much duplication. We can do a little bit more, like for the head section, but already I think this is looking pretty good. Okay, so now I should be able to select all of this and then update our other views. And the only thing I have to tweak is the header. Everything else should be the same. All right, so cross your fingers, refresh, home, about, contact. Yeah, we're 95% of the way there.
I know the other 5%. Let's see. Okay. Dashboard, about, contact. Instead of dashboard, he called it home. Sorry, my mouse is sucking. Okay.
But notice how the logic for the currently active navigation link is now locked to the About page.
Yeah.
So we can fix this pretty easily, but I'm going to punt on it for this episode.
Okay.
Just so we don't get off track.
Okay.
Okay. So the only remaining step is, why don't we also extract the banner? Okay. Create a new file, banner.php, and I will paste that in. But again, notice now we are extracting a partial that hard codes the current page. So file that one away. Okay, let's come back and replace it with our new partial. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other pages. So that and that. Okay, so yeah, now have a look at how our views look. My About view requires a head, requires a navigation area, requires a banner, and then the main section is always going to be pretty much unique to every page. So I can keep this here. Cool. And then we close out our site. And then we do the exact same thing for contact and index. So this is homepage. This would be about. Yeah. All of that duplication has now been destroyed, which is really good.
Yeah.
But now we've introduced a new problem. Notice how the text of the banner is hard-coded to About for every single page. And of course, we don't want that. Okay, so it sounds like we need to make a portion of a partial dynamic. How exactly do we do that? I'll give you some ideas. Okay, let's close the views directory. And yeah.
Pause. Let me follow along until now. So that's why he called it head and not header. Partials banner. Okay, so here I am gonna require banner. Okay, ditto for this little boy and the same for this little boy. Sorry about the inconsistency. I'll yeah, fixed it. Okay. Right. Let's go. So there's probably some way to pass data from this page or here into this banner. Let's see how it works. Maybe this would be a variable that gets passed or something like that. Let's see.
Let's introduce a brand new term. I want you to think of these three files sort of like controllers, and that's an official programming term. So just as view is sort of a adopted term in the community, controller is as well. You can think of a controller as being responsible for accepting an incoming request and providing a response. And when I use that word request, I just mean a visit to the About page. That is a user's request to visit the About page. We then accept that request and we provide a response. And that response consists of what you see within this view. Okay, so I'm introducing concepts that are maybe a little bit above our pay grade, but are going to pay dividends down the line once you are introduced to frameworks where you see these exact same concepts.
I love the foreshadowing here. He's basically talking about Mortal View Controller, MVC architecture, and so many light bulbs are going off in my head. Good job, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Again, okay? So, and if you want, we could even create a controllers directory, but let's hold off on that just for now. Okay, so why don't we give a name for this page? This is home. Or actually, you know what? Let's call it heading. Okay, and then for the contact page, the heading is contact.
Wow.
And then finally, for the about page, the heading is
Let's
about
go.
us.
Let's
Maybe
go.
for contact, it's contact us.
I love
Okay,
this.
so now remember that any variable we define in our controller will be accessible within the corresponding view and partials. Okay, let's give it a shot. I will go into banner and let's change about to heading.
Wow.
All right, so once again, cross those fingers, refresh, home, about, contact. Everything seems to be
my
working,
God,
which is
let's
great.
go.
Okay, so to wrap up, think about everything we did in this episode. We started.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna before he recaps, I wanna do exactly what there was an intuition that this is gonna happen, and he did exactly the same thing, and I love it when that happens. I love this. I love this. Jeffrey's phenomenal. Touch wood. Touch wood. Touch wood. Okay, so he called it header equals home. Okay, and I want to copy that to here and here as well. Our header here is what was it? About us, and here it was contact us. Okay, now in the banner I need to change this to PHP echo mode, header. Let's go. Amazing. Oh god, this is so good. You know what, following the same logic, I think we can apply the CSS classes as well. Okay, so to do that, where is the yeah, it was in the head controller, correct? No, it was in the nav controller, excuse me. I say controller, I meant partial, excuse me. It's a nav partial. Let me close everything else just to focus on this. Yeah, close everything else. Okay, so what's happening here? So there are two classes. One is active, the other is not active. Okay, so current and not current. So this is the current class group of tailwind classes, and this is the non-current group of tailwind classes. If okay, I'm in view.php, right? Cool. So I should pass on a variable from here. Let's say, what's the easy thing to do? The easiest thing to do is to copy all of this. Okay, and this is current for home, so in index do something like CSS, what do you call it, nav CSS, let's call it nav CSS equals, can I have a multi-line string? No. How do I have a multi-line string in PHP? How to write multi-line strings? Okay, please die. What? Oh, so it was just double inverted comma, but what happened was because of CSS being the way it was not escaping these characters. This is the bad way to do it. This is the incorrect, this is the loser's way to do it. Okay, But it's gonna work. It will work. So as long as it works, if it works. Yeah, this here. This is so error prone, man. Okay, so here and loop. This is incredibly error prone. Okay. Why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? Syntax error, unexpected token require. Maybe I can just ignore that. Yeah. Sometimes ignoring errors fixes it. Or saving. To be honest, I saved the I have autosave on, so when it saved the file, it you know what I mean, right? It undid the error. Okay, so this is what we need for the what do you call it? Index.php, right? So if I do this for PHP mode, nav css, this is an absolutely terrible solution, I know, but let me try it out. Yes, it's a horrible solution, but it shall work. Yes, it did work. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do exactly this. Index.css in opt out as well. Now, of course, I need to change the current what do you call it? Current classes here. Ahref is fine. So class, yeah, class to aria current page. I am going to copy until here. Okay, so this is my clipboard, and I'm gonna put it in. I'm on about, right? So class equals this. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to copy this and put it up. Programming, everyone, programming. Cool, that's done for about. I'm going to do it for contact as well. Let me check if about worked. Let's go, it did. Home and about work, home and about work. I'm a programmer. Okay, this is a bad solution, but hey, it's a solution. This is just based on the best I know. Cool. I need to remove this and paste the thing over here. The thing is this, and it should work as well. And indeed it does. Let's go. Bad code, but works. I say bad because there's a lot of unnecessary duplication, but it does work. And I'm sure there's an easier way. Maybe if it would be something like if page equals this, then add these. But I'm okay with this for now. I'm perfectly fine with this. So let's have him review the lesson.
Started by creating a dedicated folder for our views directory. Within those views, we extracted a number of partials to remove duplication. Notice when I visit the index page how much easier this is to understand. If I don't need to work with a navigation area, I shouldn't have to consume that massive block of HTML. And on the other hand, if I do need to work with a navigation area, I can go directly to that partial and make my change. So all of this becomes significantly easier to work with.
Yeah.
All right. So you're making really good progress.
Thank you.
As always, let's move onward to the next episode.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go back and to Laracast, PHP for Beginners 2023 edition. See if they have any homework for us. The lesson was PHP partials. Okay, no homework for us. Although I did take a sneak peek here at the title Super Globals and Current Page Styling. So I guess the last 5 minutes were a waste, but let's not say a waste. It was at least an experiment. Experiment which I might add was successful because it works. It's not elegant, but it works. It's just a case of practice. I love this website. This is the most glorious website in the whole world. Okay, thank you so much for watching along and hopefully learning some things about PHP with me. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Go and subscribe to Laracasts if you haven't already. Watch this video. This will be linked in the description. And bye. Come back soon. If you want to, or if you don't, that's fine as well. But if you want to, I'll be here hopefully. Okay, bye. Take care. Have a nice one. Bye.